Alright, so I'm getting real tired about this whole debate over which chainsaw is the lightest. Everyone's complaining about the weight of chainsaws and how this chainsaw is a half-pound lighter than the other one, so it's easier to run. You gotta learn how to use your saw correctly. So when Andreas Steele invented the chainsaw, there's a lot of ergonomics put into it that a lot of people don't even use. So to illustrate the point, we're gonna get into some Scientology. No, not the Tom Cruise kind, because that's bullshit. But I got my big boy scale here. So in order to demonstrate, I got this little MS260 here. This is dry weight. So it comes in at about 13.5 pounds. So just by holding your chainsaw close to the body and resting the bar on the scale, now we're looking at 4 pounds. So right there you're saving a lot of wear and tear. I see a lot of people handle their chainsaw far away from their body. Now this acts as a cantilever. You're putting all this extra weight into your body and it tires you out faster. Not only that, I also see a lot of people trying to cut a tree with a dull chain, which will also wear you out. So imagine a tree to my left right here. So if I'm walking up to a tree, I keep my saw nice and close to the body. Most of the time I got my chain brake on, sometimes I forget. But in any case, I got a second safety that I use all the time. Chainsaws have a nice big handle. Now I got pretty big hands, but this works even for me. Keep your hand all the way to the back, so it's not on the trigger. Your hand's not on the interlock, so now this is your second safety. So you don't always have to worry about the chain brake. So you walk up to the tree, assess where you want to make your face cut. You come in from the top, and as soon as the bar is in the cut, you just let the saw do its thing. You just start cutting. That's if you got a sharp chain anyways. So you make your top cut, get to where you're going, you pull your saw out, come to the bottom, finish the cut, make sure everything lines up correctly, no Dutch cuts. Then instead of walking around to the other side of the tree, this is another place where you can actually save some energy. You just do your back cut with the top part of the bar. Now this is something that you have to get comfortable with. It's not for everyone, I understand that. So if you're doing a top cut, or back barring as you would call it, the chainsaw will push back this way in case of a kickback. So you really gotta keep your saw close to the body, get a nice firm hold of it so you can control it. And again, don't try to force the saw, just let the thing cut. So you've dropped your tree, and we'll say that is the top of the tree, and this is the bottom of the tree where you just cut it off. Now you got to get into limbing. So for limbing purposes, always keep the tree to the right side of your body. So this is a good chance to point out why it's important to have a professional saw. A professional chainsaw, this whole case is made out of magnesium. It's built for this kind of abuse. So a regular homeowner saws, everything here is plastic. But in this case, when you get into limbing, now you get into trigger control. So what you got to do is, if you're cutting all the branches on this side of the tree, you use your trigger, and because the chain is spinning this way, the chainsaw itself is going to walk down the tree this way. All you have to do is pull the trigger, and you're not lifting the chainsaw, you're not really moving it all that much. To go the other way, if you want to cut the branches on the top, you flip it around. Now the chain is still going this way, and again, just trigger control, and the chainsaw is going to want to walk itself towards this way. Then you come to this side. So when you're cutting branches on this side, this is the only time your chain will ever get closer to your legs. So you got to pay a little more attention. So when I'm cutting branches on this side, I'm always moving forward. Now by holding your chainsaw completely sideways like this, you will get a kickback every now and then, but it's kicking sideways, so it's not going towards your legs. So I see a lot of people limbing this way, and every once in a while you're going to get a kickback, so it's going towards their legs. But just simply by having your saw sideways, now you're avoiding the whole issue. So on this side, we go that way. And what I do for the bottom branches, you got to pay attention again, because these branches will be loaded, holding the tree stump in the air. I go this way, but if I see that a branch is loaded, I will actually come down, I will cut the branch off first, and then I will come and flush cut it. But the correct way is to cut the bottom branches from the bottom up, if you catch my drift. So these are just a few ways that you can save energy running a saw. That being said, I never actually even run this MS260 anymore. Since I have learned this method of handling a chainsaw, I can run a big saw all day, no problem. Saves a lot of wear and tear on my body, and I get work done a lot faster with this big boy. So just for shits and giggles, I'll put this on the scale. So this saw comes in at 19 pounds dry weight. But again, if I'm holding it close to the body, just resting the bar on the scale, now I'm at 5.5, 6 pounds. So you can see how much of a difference it makes just by simply holding the chainsaw close to your body. If you're doing this all day, you're not going to get very far. Anyways, that's all I got for you.